Alright, here we go. We're doing another video on Life is Strange, double exposure.
My friend Safi is dead.
Per the usual, I don't go sparing on spoilers, so if you're bothered by that and by now have still not played this game or watched it, go do that and come by and watch this when you're done.
But Max Caulfield, don't you forget about me.
But, yes, I have kind of fallen off the wagon. I was doing really well with recording these videos, and then I finished the game, I finished watching someone play the game, and then I just lost all interest in doing this.
Don't stop, okay? Keep going.
I really need to continue to capitalize on it while it's still relevant, because there's no point in recording these videos 2 years from now when nobody's really watching or playing the game anymore, which is when I found Life is Strange 2 and started this whole channel devoted to those sorts of games. Life is Strange 2 was already 2 years old, and it was hard to become relevant.
Oh my god, stop.
So that's my little tangent as to where I've been and what I've been doing. But my goodness, am I excited about episode 2 or 4, not 2.
Now you're totally stuck in the retro zone. Sad face.
Episode 4 for like 2 different reasons. I'm excited because my theories are actually coming back around as correct, and that being that this game is kind of a pile of trash.
You eat like a pig. Try the floor.
And then I'm excited. Why was I... The second reason I was excited, I don't know. But I'm definitely excited that I think I'm gonna be right after all. So we were building up to something really good in episodes 2 and 3. And I was really excited about where this was going. I thought episode 1 was kind of boring, but it's like inexcusable boring because it's episode 1, but like that's also not an excuse. Like you should really hook your audience in a lot better right off the bat rather than waiting until midway through the story to try and be even moderately interesting. But at any rate, so episode 3 leaves you off with a twist of discovering that Safi is a shapeshifter, and you're like, holy crap, what does this mean? What is gonna happen? Is she good? Is she bad? What is going on? And like immediately chapter 4 dumps you into the chapter after you've been in Max's house for a little while and you've had a little I guess time to like cool down, but it completely nullifies the dramatic tension of the scene. Because like at the end of episode 3 there was so much tension because Safi had just broken into your house. She was pretending to be you. You almost died on the ice lake. Max pulled out her miracle I'm gonna save you power, which made no sense.
ビッグフットになるのに靴いらないだろ。
今は狼に。
And then boom, Safi turns out to be a shapeshifter. Like, there is a lot of tension building up and going into episode 4 for them to bring that completely back down to 0 and just be like, yep, I'm at my house and I forgave Safi for breaking in, and I forgave Safi for looking through my stuff, and I forgave Safi, I forgave Safi, and I forgave Safi.
My friend Safi is dead.
And I'm just like, are you serious right now? There is 0 tension in this scene. They're just best buds all over again. Like they never stopped being best buds. Like she didn't just break into my house. Like, I am sorry, but if you break into my house, that's bad enough. Like you can be my best friend in the whole wide world, and you got some explaining to do there. And then if you break into my house and then rummage through it and destroy a bunch of my stuff, like that's unforgivable territory at that point. Like you don't just turn back from that, at least not without a whole heck of a lot of work. So it's like they were too lazy or incapable of writing a high tension scene. So instead, they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna scrap all the tension that we built up, and then we're just gonna have Max and Safi be besties again, and then they're gonna pass the bottle cap around and be like, you tell me something about you, now you tell me something about me. And I'm just like, what is going on? I don't even think we got that really like good information out of Safi. Like, this is a good time to tell some backstory on her, to really dive into her character. And it was just like, how do your powers work? Well, I manipulate your mind to make you think that I look like who you want me to look like. Oh, okay. And then they talked about some other hot garbage. They went down Max's memory lane or whatever, and it just wasn't at all what I was wanting.
Or Vin said he'd be here too. In the dead world, Turtle, that is.
And like I said, when they immediately diffused all of the tension from that scene, all of the tension that they worked so hard to build up in episode 2, when they diffused that, I was done. I was like, okay guys, like, you're already off to an incredibly bad start here. So after the diffused tension, it's time to go and publicly embarrass Lucas Colmenario, which this whole scene's kind of ironic because in the book that I just finished writing and that I'm going to publish out into the world sometime next year, there's a big humiliation scene that revolves around an old style projector. And then in Life is Strange Double Exposure, there's a big humiliation scene that once again revolves around an old style projector. And so I'm saying it here to clear my name and be like, no, I had thought of this and written it well before Double Exposure was even a thing. So no, I did not copycat that idea. But it is funny the amount of similarities that my other works have had with this work. But at any rate, so yeah, they're gonna go to the party and they're gonna publicly humiliate Lucas Colmenario, which is honestly like been the boringest plot line that has ever existed in the history of plot lines. Like, the game was literally just like, hey, this guy, you're gonna hate this guy. And then they're like, here's why. And it's like, wow, you guys didn't do anything to try and make this interesting, did you? Like, you didn't try and be like, oh, let's play devil's advocate and give Lucas Colmenario a good side of the story. No. We're just gonna say that he's a thief.
You stole it from him?
I don't know. It looked cool and you stole before, so I thought...
No, man. Stealing is bad.
And then they're like, oh, let's not like dive deeper into this at all, and let's just tell the fans, yeah, you hate this guy, he's awful and rotten, and then make him just awful and rotten. He's completely flat, no character to him whatsoever. He's just put in the story to be a guy that we can hate. I don't even hate the guy because he's so poorly written. And it's funny because a lot of people are like, I don't understand why you don't hate the guy. Like, you're a writer, you write books, you should be like on fire mad at what he did. And it's like, I'm more on fire mad about how poorly written this game is and the crime against humanity that is the story that they have going right now than I would ever be about this fake guy stealing this fake girl's fake story. Like, sorry, no, it doesn't work. Like, you would have to actually flesh out people's motives and flesh out the characters to have a better story, not just like, yep, I stole her work, it sold millions, darn, I'm good at what I do, or whatever. It was just hot garbage. So anyway, you do your typical go into timeline A, go into timeline B, go into timeline A, go into timeline B, and you're trying to get people off the projector and onto the projector, and then break the projector, and then fix the projector, and then now we're all ready for this show, except, oh no, Lucas Colmenario's almost not gonna do it. So then you get in this like very one-sided dialogue exchange, and it's not like there's a way to fail the dialogue exchange that gets him to be like, you know what, no, I'm actually gonna leave, because there's no stakes in this game at all whatsoever so far. Your choices have been hardly that. And so of course he's like, okay, I'll stay because I can't wait to get humiliated. And then so he goes to get humiliated, and it was like the most garbage scene ever. Like, did these people not have the proper, like, I don't know, audio team to make it actually feel like there was a crowd of people here?
This is absurd.
Like, there is a small crowd of people gathered around, and they keep blasting this dude with these humiliating things. And then they'll have like one guy in the crowd be like, "Oh no," and they'll have another guy in the crowd be like, "Boo." And then there's like, they pan over to the girl who's shaking her head. She's like, "I can't believe this." But I'm like, guys, like, if this is supposed to be a pivotal point in the story, a major turning point, like, let's blast this dude. Let's give him like a full soundtrack of boos, hisses, and like an outraged crowd. And instead, it was a mildly calm crowd of slightly irritated people and very uninterested people, while Lucas Colmenario once again like made no effort to defend his actions. They were just like, "You stole this story from Maya, word for word." And then he was like, yeah, you don't know the whole story." And then like proceeds to not even attempt to tell the whole story, because there probably isn't a whole story. No one wrote the story that would make it whole. So that was a load of hot garbage, and the overall gameplay is falling into that spinning spiral of same thing, same thing, same thing. My phone is ringing. It did this last time to me, and I got up and changed or turned it off or whatever, because I don't even know if you guys can hear it or not, but I can hear it, and that's going to distract me. Sorry about that. So yeah, we get back from the party where we humiliate Lucas Colmenario, and as Lucas is storming out of the party, he's like, "I want to talk to you."
Anyway, that's not why we're here.
My friend Safi is dead.
"Safi, I want to talk to you, Safi." And so she's like, "Okay." They run off together, and then apparently he said something that was just so catastrophic to her, because like her powers go out of control, and like now everybody is just being blown up by her mind powers. And it's like, she's not really a shapeshifter, she's a like Charles Xavier mind character now. She's a psychic, but she uses her psychic to make people think that she's someone else. I mean, it's not a horrible concept, it's just really poorly done. Neither Don't Nod nor Deck 9 have done really great with like complex powers, or making powers that they have complex powers, but they don't explain how they work or what's going on there at all. So the audience, like, if you're even remotely interested in like superhero material or any material that does superpowers like remotely better, you're just like, what is this hot garbage?
I'm you, dumbass.
And so she gets so mad that now the entire school is just getting brain attacked by her awful mind powers, but Max is surprisingly not being affected by this at all. And now you walk outside and there's another storm. I've already said how I feel about this in the past. I think it's hot garbage that they just keep ripping off of concepts that were used in previous games. They're like, "Oh, there was a storm in the first one, let's just do that again. Oh, there was a traitor in the first one, let's just do that again." It's like, stop. Come up with something original, please. So anyway, this is when the downward spiral really starts to happen, because it all just kind of explodes in like 5 seconds time. And this is a relatively short episode. If you're not meandering and really trying to make it a long episode, it's like only like an hour long. And so like you walk outside, everybody's losing their minds, you have really no idea what's going on, and then there's a storm, and so you're racing to the overlook to go find Safi, who is confronting her mom because her mom apparently did something evil, and she's mad. And I don't even know if this whole exchange, if she tells you what Lucas Colmenario told him or not, but at the end of the day, she shoots her mom in the shoulder while she's losing her mind, or just having a general breakdown, I guess. It was like soft and not very well done, just like this entire game. And so then does it cut out when she shoots her mom? That's the problem. It's been a minute since I've watched this episode, and it's blending together with episode 5 at this point, but I'm fairly certain it stops right around the point where she shoots her mom, and then like the screen goes black and it's like, oh no, what's gonna happen? And hot garbage, that's what's gonna happen. Absolute hot garbage. Like I said, episode 4 starts the downward spiral of Deck 9 doing exactly what I thought Deck 9 would do, which is just screw this up and turn it into an absolute pile of hot, steaming porch garbage. And
I couldn't even believe it was happening. It was literally slow motion as I grabbed her hand. And then I could feel her grabbing mine.
Max, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Ever!
And, which is a shame, because I legitimately enjoyed episode 2 and I legitimately enjoyed episode 3. Like, those were really, really good. And, but 4 is bringing us down. 1 was boring off the start. And, spoiler alert, I'm not gonna have anything nice to say about 5. And then eventually I'm gonna have to release a whole stinking review on this game. And I just wish that, and this is cruel maybe, I don't know, I just wish that Deck 9 would just like go bankrupt and never make another Life is Strange game again. And at that point, like, if we just never have another Life is Strange game, I'm fine with that. Or if we get one, at least another company can take a stab at it and hopefully do just a little bit better. Like, we're not asking for much here, but Deck 9 really did not try on this game. Did not try at all. And like, even some of the stuff that they were saying in the promotional material, they're like going back on or going against, and I'll dive more deeply into that when I do like my full review of everything. This is supposed to be more focused on just episode 4 thoughts and opinions, and again, I have nothing positive to say about it. It was too quick. They rushed through it. They nullified all the tension that they had built up, and then the Lucas Colmenario storyline was never interesting. It was never something that captivated me, even in the slightest. So that being the big thing that happened in episode 4 was just dumb. The way that it happened was dumb. The way it was executed was dumb. The way they executed the scene was dumb. And then you go outside and the world's exploding. Dumb. That should be like the word of the day today. Today's word of the day, Life is Strange Double Exposure, episode 4, brought to you by the word dumb and the number 4. So, per the usual, I write novels and got my own animation going. If you check that out, that would be absolutely swell. Otherwise, keep coming around if you want to hear me hate on Life is Strange Double Exposure, because I have a feeling that's all I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one.